Привет, good morning. My Russian is basically non-existent, so I'm gonna try to get all my stuff in English. So my name is Edu. I'm Rich Media Technical Specialist, as Sophia mentioned. And basically, I help creative agencies, media agencies, and advertisers in the conception and development of rich media creatives. So as you know, Mastheads is one of the most engaging formats in terms of rich media. And I'm gonna be starting with an innovation showcase just to share with you some of the stuff that you can do. Maybe you know some of the campaigns that I'm showing up now, maybe not. So I hope you find it inspiring and to get some ideas. This is just a really brief video with some examples.
Make sure you have your computer mobile speakers turned right up.
Okay, so did you know some of these campaigns or any of these campaigns? Well, in fact, I would like to ask you, how many people in here have been ever working in a master campaign? So can you put your hand in the air? Okay, okay. So the other side, so how many people here has never worked on a master campaign? Okay, so more or less half and half. Okay, then I hope you all can find it interesting from different perspectives, from the new perspective and the new ways of developing existing campaigns that you are working on. So one of the most powerful features of our Mastheads is because it's rich media, there is no limits at all in terms of content. So when working on digital display advertising, you have some really basic limitations around different formats, but Mastheads, because of the size, because it's rich media, you have like almost no creative limits. So you can include all this kind of content. You can include video, you can use live streaming, you can develop 3D environments, you can use photo galleries, you can develop your microsites, so to build your whole brand experience inside the ad. Instead of using the ads to drive traffic to your website, you can use the ad itself, like the microsite. You can use your webcam to go through augmented reality or capturing pictures and uploading them. You can play music, you can record audio. You can get the space of a Masthead to get user data through forms and surveys and so on. You can use maps, you can use your Masthead for a game, you can integrate with social networks, you can interact with your mobile like we will see with the Spider-Man campaign example, and you can add dynamic content. And this is just some examples of the kind of content that you can use in a Masthead. So you can imagine as well that the amount of possibilities is infinite, basically. And also, we can use nowadays with also between Flash and HTML5 technology, and we are living a really good period on display creativity and display advertising, and we can start breaking barriers between which is desktop experience and mobile experience. And one of the best examples is this kind of campaigns. This is getting really common. we have launched, like last year we launched new kind of, let's say, functionality or component allowing users to interact between the masthead and the mobile itself. So I'm gonna try to make a bit freaky demo. So I'm gonna be trying to show you what I'm doing. Does know about this Spider-Man campaign? No one? Okay, Nikolai. I would be really worried if you didn't know. Okay, so basically, this is a really successful campaign launched 2 months ago about the launch of the movie and so on. And the powerful thing around that is that the user can interact and can play with the YouTube masthead by using their mobile, basically, like the keypad or like the controller. And I will show you in a bit. So basically, as you can see, the masthead is loading a QR code here. So I'm gonna be using my, let me put this on so maybe you can see more or less what I'm doing. So basically, I put my handsets on here. Let's say if the camera focus. Oh, okay. Let's try to focus this. If I can. Okay. So then I open my mobile browser, and here you can see. I don't know if I hope you can see it well. That basically it connects to a page saying me tap to play. So if I tap here, I have like the Spider-Man hand, and then I can start swiping my finger and moving my finger to try to get, okay. So, and this is an individual experience for every single user in front of the masthead. So you can imagine how engaging it is. It works really well. In fact, this is becoming like a really common way to engage users by using this kind of functionality, because it's basically breaking the barrier between desktop and mobile. Because if it's such a new thing and it's so innovative, it's one of the best ways to get the user interest. And just to show you some examples of how it will perform, this masthead got a 12% interaction rate. So you can imagine that I don't know what about the amount of impressions, but if you can imagine that it was 10 million impressions, so then that would be more than 1 million people were playing to the game, which is really, really awesome. And you can get more than 100 seconds, so almost 2 minutes of average interaction time of everyone playing with the masthead. So you can imagine about the brand memorability of this masthead, because basically this was some kind of noise campaign before the movie. So the most important thing, even more important than watching to the trailer or or getting to the website about the movie, was to really remember about the movie and really remember about the campaign. So this was working really, really well. And in fact, this campaign was featured in many blogs from like friendly ones, or it was really well spread through social networks and even professional blogs about digital advertising and so on. So it was really, really impactful. And this is the kind of stuff that because of the masthead format, because of the big size, and because you can also integrate the trailer of the movie, all the pictures and so on, as we can see in another example, because of all content you can include in a masthead, it becomes as a perfect format to engage users, especially if you are using for brand awareness and interactions. As I mentioned before, Mastheads is a perfect format to develop even microsites inside. So instead of looking for the landing page, that of course you can use for more information and more detailed information about your product or your campaign, Masthead format is a perfect one for including most of the information about your product itself, and like it were a whole website. And by using like rich content and video, like this is a really good example, you can get to the different features of your offer. You can use audio, you can synchronize audio and video. And even the content is quite simple, is as well quite engaging. So you can use like different videos, you can make use of this. This is a huge example of how a big space of 970 by 50 by 500 pixels can be used like a really small website with all the information about your product without the need of going to the final website to get all the information about your offer and your services and so on. So that's another really good example. That's a Russian example as well, which was it's quite a really simple execution, but it's really well done. And just to give you another reference of how simple a usage of video is really effective as well. And basically making use of the big size of the expanded format, you can basically turn up the volume. And also, as you know, the video is one of the most engaging content ever. Making use of this space, and especially in this case for Samsung and for TV-related stuff, is quite a perfect format to also show a video in big size and so on. So pretty much convenient. Here we have also another area of interest, which are games. This is a finance-related campaign, which was, when looking for really brand awareness and brand memorability and so on, games always work really well. And this is a really good example because when looking for high interaction rates, obviously games are one of the most popular content you can go through. In this case, it was something similar to The Sims when looking for a bank, and so you could interact and exchange SMS with every single player in order to try to help them to get to the bank. So, to be honest, I don't know how useful it would be to have a social network to find your bank, but even though the game works really well and it's quite fun. So this is pretty much the same to the kind of games that you can find out in social networks, but you can develop them by themselves inside of a masthead. So that's another really good way of developing mastheads. And just jumping between different kind of features. I don't know how many of you have worked in premium channels, YouTube premium channels campaigns. Anyone? Okay, a couple of you. Okay, so basically, YouTube is a perfect partner for a premium channel. YouTube mastheads are a perfect partner for premium channel campaigns. And this is just an example of how a masthead, I don't know if you know this really popular Type X campaign of the beer and the hunter and their hate and love relationship between both of them. Well, I think we can, let me skip that screen to go directly to the video. I hope that they haven't removed the video from YouTube within these days, because in that case we won't be able to see it. Well, in any case, this was maybe they have discontinued the campaign. This was one of the videos of the campaign, and basically it was linking to the premium channel, like for subscribing and for engaging the online campaign. So your landing page could be like a proper microsite hosted externally, or even could be a premium channel at YouTube, which works really well as destination page for your mastheads. And of course, now it's becoming really popular, location-based services, the usage of maps, now that you can use GPS with your mobile. And there are like many different usages of maps and integration of maps to engage users within a masthead. So I'm gonna just showing you 3 different examples of 3 different ways of using maps. So this one, I can have a look into the rich media gallery as well. This was Wonders. Oh, okay. second time it doesn't load for me. This is getting really successful. Okay, so let's go for this other example. Basically, the last one was based on Street View, and it was pretty much the example shown in the video before. So basically, you can integrate also Street View with HTML5 within your masthead. Also, you can use location-based services. So by using even the browser, you can detect the location of the user. And in this case, I think that basically is loading all the new MacWraps or something like that stores around the city. So basically, it's going to be showing all different points in a map where you can find out the new shops. You can imagine, especially for instance for auto, whenever you would like to try out a car and your campaign and your leads are based about testing a car, and you can include in your masthead all the information and video and the campaign around the car, but also a map really close to where the user is, including all the places where you can go to try out and to contract your test. And this is taking too long, so again we are skipping this other example as well. So let's try it with the third one. And this other kind of usage of maps, it's not about maps, but about where the user is. So basically, you can show up different kind of content in a masthead according to where the user is. So in this example, we are here simulating where the user is. And this is basically going to be showing us different videos. So if I am in San Francisco, then it's going to be loading one YouTube video related to San Francisco content and so on. If my basically most of the localization is related to the IP localization. So basically, according to the place where you are, you can customize the content of your masthead. Could be a video, could be different kind of copy text, could be different images. So dynamic is really powerful. Aurelia is going to be introducing that later on as well. And it could be really, really powerful to think on performance when you are developing a masthead, because if you fit with a message, different message to every single user, which is more related to their city or to even their country or to their neighbor, is going to be always working better than a generic one. And of course, you can use the webcam. This is a really short demo. You can use your webcam to capture images and to make the user interact with the images. You can develop head tracking. This is just a short demo about augmented reality. I guess you are used with augmented reality. So you all know what more or less augmented reality use in the browser is? Can you please put your hand on the air? Because not so many people knows. Okay, this is basically an example of how you can use what is called augmented reality in a masthead campaign. In this environment, or in this way, augmented reality is basically a way to recognize different shapes and codes with a webcam, so you can replace what the code is by other stuff. In this case, in this example I'm showing you, it's going to be a coupon code, a video, or other stuff. But for instance, you could develop a campaign where you invite the user to print this paper, which is pretty much the same that this code. And then whenever the user prints it, you can jump into the masthead, allow your webcam access. When you put the code in front of the webcam, basically the content in the page is going to be changing by the content that you would like. In this case, this is just a video player of a concert, but it could be also a discount coupon or it could be also a simple business card or promo code or whatever. So in the same way that our event could be like the three of them together, or so. And of course, apart from this simple content, that could be like really complex 3D environments and games where you could put like the code in your table and then some kind of animals start running around your table and so on. So augmented reality is another really immersive experience and really works really well. So basically, these are just some examples of the kind of content that you can develop inside a masthead, where the limits are put basically by you and by your client and by the capabilities of the creative agency. But the YouTube mastheads and the rich media platform by DoubleClick, which I'm going to be jumping into detail this afternoon. So how many developers are here for this afternoon session? Okay, only two, wake up early today. Okay, so hopefully this afternoon there's going to be more people joining, because there are going to be two different sessions this afternoon. One is going to be like really technical, like in fact we will try to code a bit and so on, and the other one is going to be around the process of rich media, mastheads and so on. And in the other side, please, I don't know if you know richmediagallery.com, which is our rich media showcase website, where you can find out like the most interesting campaigns about, you know, mastheads and other rich media formats, and you can discover as well like the new formats that we are launching continuously, new formats, new components, new functionalities to help to develop more innovative rich media campaigns. And of course, we have like tons and tons of real examples of mastheads that you can check out with different kind of features, from video to the campaign of Spider-Man itself and so on. So so before continuing with Aurélie, is there any kind of questions that you would like, or any specific area that you would be interested to explore about what kind of stuff can I develop or can I create for a masthead? Okay, easy. So feel free to join me at the coffee and later in the next session. So thanks a lot, and Aurélie, all yours. Спасибо.